Mayo people who want after the disappointment of the family. Too soon. So this event is hosted by Bank of Ireland, the BOI Start Labs, and I'd like to thank the guys from Bank of Ireland for hosting us. Very briefly, it's a co-office space that has been set up to support Irish companies who are looking to expand in the US. And essentially, it gives these companies somewhere where they can get established, provide them with all the utilities so that they can get settled in New York. And currently they have 7 companies that are here full time, and then they have 5 companies who are coming in and out. So the schedule for the night, Bank of Ireland will begin with an introduction to their new global payments platform, and then we will continue then with 4 companies that we have here, and I will introduce them individually after that. But we have Zemo, we have BrightBiz, we have Opening.io, and we have Blueface.com, and they will be pitching tonight. So without further ado, I'm going to invite Kieran. Thank you.
I'm going to go without the actual mic, so can people hear me and everything okay without it? Yeah? Yeah. Perfect. Look, firstly, thanks very much everyone for coming along tonight. You know, we're delighted to be able to announce our newly launched Bank of Ireland Global Payments Platform, which is powered by World First. So I'm going to kind of run through briefly tonight, basically who we are, why we've done this, a little bit what it's about, and the kind of people we're actually looking to speak to about it, okay? So a brief background of who we are. Obviously Bank of Ireland, a lot of people will be fairly familiar with us. We're based actually here in the US in Stamford, Connecticut. Been here in some shape or form since about the 1970s, so we've been around a while in the US, and obviously in Ireland we've been around a little bit longer than that, but since the 1700s. So you know, we've decided to kind of, based on client behaviours, move into a new kind of generation of, as I said, client behaviours who have decided to move somewhat away from traditional banking methods for all their various payment services and needs. We've teamed up with a company called World First, who are based out of Austin, Texas, headquartered actually in London. Guys have been around since 2004, and year to date they've transferred over 60 billion in payments. So a little bit of the reason and why we're kind of doing this tonight, okay, and why we've decided to move ahead with our new global payments platform. Clients have very high expectations of their service providers, and they've high requirements, okay. New technologies have come around, and Bank of Ireland have decided to embrace those. By not embracing them, you're going to get left behind. You know, there's a lot of new fintech companies out there today who are very good at doing very seamless straight-through processing for various client needs. People are happy enough to change providers for varying things such as credit cards, deposit accounts, a whole degree of services. Why not your foreign exchange? So that's why we've come to the market with this, okay? We're coming to a market with a seamless, straight-through, very easy-to-use foreign exchange service for businesses making payments to other businesses. Just a little bit about what the offering is, okay? So I suppose a pet peeve of people is the fees and charges they have to pay their banks. We've come to the market here with a zero fee structure for clients making international payments. We've seen fees vary between $50, $75 for people making international wires. So we're offering a fee-free service here on their international wires. A hidden charge for clients as well that people are unaware of in a lot of cases is the actual foreign exchange rate. Okay, people see exchange rates online, they see them in varying other places. It's often not the rate you're going to get. We've brought a very, very competitive rates to the market with our product, and we feel it's one of the best in class, to be quite honest with you. So our fast international payments, okay. Excuse me. Thanks to the new platform that we've brought here, okay, we've been able to, in a lot of instances, cut down the time of international payments. People have often had to wait 2-3 days to make their payments. We can possibly turn them around in 24 hours, maybe within 36. Again, it's cutting down the time your business needs to spend settling these payments between your suppliers. Okay, so we're trying to make this as easy as possible for businesses to get down to the actual root of what they want to do is do business. Forget about all the other stuff. We're trying to make your life that little bit easier. Okay. Safety and security. Look, obviously, as a bank and as a payments provider, information security is absolutely paramount and is a top priority for us. We obviously ensure, you know, constant monitoring of all data and the integrity of our systems at all times. So, you know, there's very little to worry about there. We hold ourselves to very high standards in that regard. An award-winning service. Okay, our client relation team has won numerous awards around the world for their ability to be able to service their clients' needs. The difference between this offering is you can actually speak to a person 24/7. Obviously, people like to do their business online. That's absolutely the purpose of this offering. You can book your trades, you know, schedule your payments 24/7. But if you have a need to actually speak to somebody, if something goes wrong, if you have a query, if you know whatever may arise, you can actually speak to somebody at any time that you wish. Okay. Just a quick little run through then as to basically what the site looks like. Okay, this is going to be your home page. You can be set up with all your favorite trades. It's live streaming pricing 24/7, so you will know exactly all the time how much your transfers are going to cost you, and it's very clear and simple to use. So you have various options. You can set up your beneficiaries. If you've got existing beneficiaries through your existing platforms, we can take them as a download and upload them to the profile for you. So look, there's not going to be a lot of effort to change over here. Statements reporting, obviously full downloads ability to that throughout the entire process as well. Anytime you upload a beneficiary, make a payment, sign up, whatever you're actually doing on the site, you're kept up to date all the time. So obviously you're getting constant email contact. So in fairness, it's a pretty slick offering, and we're very proud of and happy to have brought to the market today. Okay, this is our lovely team that's based out of Stamford, Connecticut. A brief overview of the kind of clients that we hope to talk to. So if anyone's in the room today, we'd be delighted to talk to you. In essence, small, medium-sized businesses who are making business-to-business payments, who are sick of paying high fees and getting charged exorbitant exchange rates. So, as I said, if anybody has any interest in speaking to us today, our team is here and is happy to talk. We've got a little demo table set up out the front here, so we've got iPads that we can take you through some demos if anyone would like to look over. So that's our Bank of Ireland Global Payments offering. If anyone has any questions, we'd be happy to kind of field them afterward. So yeah, sure.
What kind of competition do you have right now? Like, do you compete with Swift, or do you just use Swift?
We'd use Swift. So Swift is obviously the bank-to-bank payment transmission method. Competition-wise, to be perfectly honest with you, this market in the US hasn't really quite progressed as far as we've seen in Europe. So we have experience of obviously doing business in Europe quite substantially. There's a lot of payments companies in the actual, you know, in the market out there. So we feel that by bringing this to the US, we're bringing a brand new offering. There's not a huge amount of companies that are offering purely a payments platform. You know, all the big banks obviously offer this, and they've had a monopoly for a long time. So, you know, we're, as I said, very excited to be able to bring this product to challenge the big banks and maybe make them wake up a little bit and make people aware you don't need to be paying these charges and exorbitant exchange rates. Okay, so I'll hand it back to Brett then. Yeah.
Thanks, Peter.
Thanks.
Yeah, so now we're on to our next part of the event. We have 4 technology companies who are going to pitch tonight, and at the end of their pitch, they'll provide us with an ask to the community. So feel free to reach out to them and try and help them. Just for the purposes of timekeeping, there'll be no questions, but we encourage you to reach out to the guys after and ask them any questions that you have. So first up we have Brightbiz and Emma Killian, who's going to demonstrate how they can implement their workflow software to implement efficient processes to scale up businesses. So please,
Hello everybody, my name is Emma Killian, and I have experience founding and scaling several companies, and the last 2 companies that we founded, we actually got stuck. We found it really difficult to find software to help us to scale safely. So we brought together a team of experts. CEO is PwC, likes to play electric guitar and is passionate about bringing processes to business. We poached our CTO from Microsoft, and then there's myself. I wear really bright dresses, and that's my marketing thing. So we reached the summit. We employ over 300 people in Ireland in one of our companies. So we were bringing that expertise and knowledge and how to scale safely to other companies through our software, and just giving them the tools to allow them and to empower them to scale. So, has anyone ever seen a Red Bull flying competition? I saw one once it was happening in Galway Bay as part of the Volvo Ocean Race a couple of years ago, and I kind of fell in love with it, and it's become kind of a late night guilty pleasure on TV, and so you're watching it and they're taking off and they're going, oh, come on, go on, and then they just nosedive. And we were chatting in the office about how businesses are today and what we do for businesses, and I kind of think they're a bit like these airplanes. Every business wants to fly, and lots of businesses get kind of initial traction, and then many of them just nosedive. And Forbes actually, it was about 3 weeks ago, wrote a great article saying that 90% of scaling companies, not startups, scaling companies actually fail. And we were kind of wondering what the reason was, and they very helpfully gave us the reason, and I've been quoting this article ever since. And the number one reason, it's not the team, and it's not the market, and it's not the CEO, and it's not the product, it's none of those things. The reason is actually the processes. That companies, brilliant, clever, innovative companies, take their eye off the ball. They don't sort out their processes, and that's actually why they get stuck, and that's why they fail. So, it's really boring, the whole thing about processes. It's not the most exciting thing in the world. I mean, it genuinely would put most people to sleep. However, if the business end of business is taken care of, it allows people then to do what they're really good at, why they started the company in the first place, and focus on that. So, anybody know who this man is?
Adele.
Ah, very good. So, Gavin yesterday morning was top of the class with that 7:30 a.m. in Philadelphia when I was, oh look at him, he's back there singing You'll Never Beat the Irish, look at him. So yeah, 7:30 a.m. in Philadelphia yesterday morning. Aidan like Flynn, the man from Cappoquin, had the answer. So thank you for getting in there before him. Michael Dell is laser focused on processes. This is how he built his companies. He walks around various companies targeting unsuspecting workers going, what are you doing? Are you selling? Are you doing? Are you billing? And if you're not doing one of those things, why not? And that is our core focus at BrightBiz. We help you sell more, do more, and bill more. So I'm going to talk you really quickly through what that looks like in an average company. Okay, so you have your customer. Here you have sales. Some companies have a CRM, some companies don't have a CRM, but this is where your sales happen, okay? Push it through sales pipeline, deal is done, goes to closed one. Then it goes into this space here, okay? You've got quotes, proposals, contracts, emails, Gmails, PDFs, paper, all that manual stuff here. It becomes a bit messy, but it gets done somehow, gets across to accounts. Accounts send an invoice to the customer sends to the bank sends the invoice back, it comes back here to accounts. Maybe the guy in sales finds out if the money's landed to the bank, maybe he figures out if he's winning or losing or not, okay? That's one sale, all right? What does it look like when you want to get busy? I mean, no company was really built on one sale. You need more sales, okay? It starts to start looking like this, all right? You got all your customers here, okay? It's pushing into here, okay, to the poor guy here. This is a mess. This starts to get really, really tricky. This is where I started crying trying to build a company. Google Calendar chucked us out. Salesforce had us over a barrel. We were a mess. There was invoices everywhere. So accounts hate us. Somebody called Scary Mary knows where all the invoices are. Scary Mary goes off, we're stuck, okay? So what we do at BrightBiz is we just streamline all this. We make it really easy, okay? So multiple inquiries, multiple customers. They're kind of funneled into a really smart part of the CRM, the part of the CRM that you'll want. Not a big dinosaur CRM, not a $10 CRM, the smart part that you use, okay? All of this workflow, really automated, really easy to use. We have first in the world, two-way live integration into Xero and QuickBooks. We've partnered with them. all of this is gone, all this double banking reconciliation is cut out. So the whole process from hello to payment is streamlined. There isn't a need for departments full of scary Marys anymore, or lots of people in admin. It means you can keep your company lean and focus on profits, all right? So this is what we say. We just simplify the chaos. It's not complicated, it's actually very, very easy. And our customers tell us that the one thing they come back with is that it's a beautiful piece of software and that they like it. And I suppose we like that they say it's beautiful because if your whole business is wrapped around one piece of software, it helps that it's pretty software if you're looking at it all day long. Just to kind of reiterate, it's the smart CRM, sales automation, workflow automation, digital documents. 7 out of 10 SMBs in the US are unable to turn around a quote and sign a contract in under a week. Businesses can't be competitive if they can't do that. I mean, we're in a digital age. Those kind of things have to be done if you want to be competitive in a couple of clicks. Not in weeks, not with paper, not chasing somebody with phone calls and emails. Those days are over. So we take care of all of that. Our data analytics are best in class. For instance, if you are analyzing with Salesforce or Microsoft, you can take max 250 line items, okay? You have to export those line items out to Excel, do your pivot tables and all that there, and do your analytics there. That's again making the process manual. With BrightBiz, you can see 100,000 line items at the same time and do all your pivot tables, all your data analytics in one place, in the cloud. So we call it Excel in the cloud, even though you don't have to use Excel at all. That's first in world, best in class tech. And then it's a full payments processing platform, and as I said already, it's a live two-way integration with Xero and with QuickBooks. So we're very proud that we're operating within a SaaS space, and you know that the SaaS, I don't have to tell you guys, you know this, it's the SaaS marketplace in the US is valued at $30 billion, and within 3 years it's estimated to be at $300 billion. So it's a very exciting place for us to be right now. We've customers in Ireland and the UK, small cohort of customers in the US, and we're here to do a big push into the marketplace. And we had a great morning yesterday morning in Philly, and the phone went off the hook, and thankfully we have processes in place to be able to cope with the business that we did today. So we're also very proud that to date we have a churn rate of 0, and I think that's quite unusual in the SaaS marketplace. So we work with companies with teams from 3 people right up to 200 people. So you'll hear from Opening.io later on with Andrea, customer of ours, beautiful fit with tech companies. They don't want to hire lots of people, but they want to be lean and grow profits. Bank of Ireland teams are also a customer of ours, and we work with financial services, accountancy firms love us, and streamlines and grows their practices, but also their clients use it. So it makes life really easy. Financial services, training companies, consultancies, anyone who's selling, doing, or billing, we help them to do more. So what I say to people is, do you want your company to look like this? Or would you like it to look like this? So I really appreciate your time. And Patrick McAndrew, Paddy Mac is down there at the back. He's based here full time. Our ask, I suppose, is that you would spread the love, and we're really passionate that processes is not the thing that trips up really exciting, innovative, established companies. There's no need to fail at scaling because of processes. The tech is here. Let us help you with that. I would love to get in front of clusters of businesses, VCs with their fingers in lots of pies, to enable them to let their companies grow, because at the end of the day it's all about profit, and that's what we're about. We help companies be profitable. Any incubators that you know would love introductions, or if you're a company that we can help, we would love to talk to you. Looking forward to doing business with you, and my co-founder and I are moving here in January, so maybe we will get to meet you on a personal level as well. Thank you so much.
So next up we have Bluefaced.com. So they provide phone and communications platform. They are established in Europe, and Amy Coughlin is responsible for leading the charge in the US. So, Amy, I'll let you take it.
Thank you, Brittany. Thank you. It's great to be here. Thanks for the opportunity. My name is Amy Coughlin. I'm Director of Blueface in the US. And even today, when I was walking around meeting some of you before, everyone says such an interesting name. So it comes from our very humble beginnings when we were actually going around Dublin selling phone systems residentially, knocking door to door. And our slogan used to be, well, you can talk all day till you're blue in the face and it won't cost you an arm and a leg. And then Blueface stuck. But we've come a long way from that today. So we are all over Europe. We acquired a company in Italy. We have operations in France, Germany, the UK and Spain. And then just in the last year, we've set up operations in the US with myself based here full time and my colleague Terence is there at the back. And together we're helping grow the US business. And I'll share a little bit later on, but we're doing fantastic things in our space. We were named Deloitte's Top 500 Tech. We are shortlisted. Our CEO is the Entrepreneur of the Year in the EY competition back in Ireland. And we recently got $12 million and €10 million from BDO. So how have we done this? How have we come from knocking on doors to selling enterprise-grade communication software? Well, we have a caffeine-fueled culture, for one. I will tell you, our C-suite drink more caffeine than Coke than I've ever seen before. Or maybe it's the engineers that are treated like gods. They're actually on the top level of our building in the IFSC. When you walk past their room, the light actually oozes out from under the door because they're so bright, or maybe it's just all the screens they have in there. But really, when you think about our competition, when you think about telecoms, do you really think of innovation? When's the last time you had to call, I don't want to mention them, but you had a problem with your phone system or your internet, and you're waiting, you're on this auto attendant, press 1 for sales, press 2 for marketing. Sorry, I didn't quite understand that. And you go right around again. It's painful, and I'm not the only one in this room that's been frustrated by it. So it's like, take the example of back in the 80s. You have IBM mainframes and clunky Microsoft software. No one really wants to use computers, but they serve a purpose. And then you come along with the Macintosh, and it's a game changer because now people want to use computers. Not only do they want to use, they enjoy using it. And they did all of that by understanding what the customer, what the user actually wants, user interface, user experience being so important. And that's what Blueface has done in the telecom space. We meet with CIOs and small business owners. The same thing. They want software that they can use, that's easy to understand, that directly addresses the business need, rather than telling them about all the fancy tech that goes on behind it. So just like Mac, Blueface is revolutionizing business communications world. Of course, communications being very important, it makes the world a smaller place. Globalization wouldn't have happened without all the innovation in communication. Productivity and innovation has shot through the roof with all the new ways of communicating. Such an important space. But the challenge that we have today is that we have over-communication. So many channels. We have IMs, Google Hangouts, WhatsApp. Our Chinese clients use WeChat. You have the voicemails coming into your phone, your mobile, your emails. Some people still get fax. Then you're using one software for your screen share, another one for your voice. All of these things. You're an employee and you're trying to do your job, and you can't remember where you had got that piece of information. I've literally been there looking through my phone and my emails and everything to see, I know I have the answer to this, it's somewhere in there. So what we say is we just try and make communication simple and unified. So this is what the enterprise buyer has to look with. He has so many conferencing solutions, different products, that he has to choose the best vendor and the best product. So again, who more needs it than a simplified, unified service? You can see we pay a lot of attention to our graphical user interface and our experience for not only the buyer, but the user at the end of the day. Some of our customers across the world, Lots have started in Ireland, multinationals, and then as they have grown, we've grown with them, as we're very good at keeping international dial plans. And if you raise an office in Italy, we can give you a completely localized service in Italy. So if you call, it sounds like you're calling Italy, the numbers, everything. So we've touched on internationalization. And to give you an example that's more close to home, in New York and in the US, we've worked with so many Irish companies that have aspirations, maybe have already started here, but they want to show to the businesses that they're meeting here that yes, we're invested in the US. I'm not, on a holiday trip, I'm going to stick in a few meetings. I'm serious about this. So I have a US number for you to call. You can dial that. Maybe they're here, maybe they're in Ireland. It doesn't matter. It's going to be routed to who you need to speak to. And just a simple thing like that. It's all impressions management before you get going. That's a really easy example that we can help with. And then another trend is mobility. So you have lots of remote workers. Apple, 34% of their workforce is remote. So it's really important that if you do have colleagues who want to work remote, that you can support them and give them the communications that when they are speaking to customers or collaborating with colleagues, that they're getting the same experience as your colleagues and your workers that are in the office with you. And that's a really simple thing to do with Blueface, is you're not relying on on-premise software, it's all from the cloud. And then hot desking, lots of bigger companies moving to hot desking to save money. So it's so easy when you have phones on all the desks, or if you're a co-working space like BOA StartLab, you can just basically go to the desk and plug in your credentials, and that phone becomes your phone for the day. And then you log out, and your credentials go with you. Bring your own device is another thing that we're seeing more and more of. So we offer a mobile app that you can put on your employee's phone, so it still separates the business and the personal, and you get all of the analytics from the calls that they were making. It also means that the employer picks up the bill for all the calls you're making in your spare time and in your personal time. And aside from all those trends that we see in our industry, we down to earth just provide a complete business communication. So if you need a new phone, if you need numbers, conferencing, voice, video, fax to email, screen sharing, chat, all of this, that is the nuts and bolts of what we do. So I hope I've inspired you that Blueface has come a long way. We're on a great journey. We do hope to IPO. We want to be one of the best Irish companies in the space, top 5 global business communications company. Hopefully in the next 3 or 4 years we'll have that aspiration come through and be standing shoulder to shoulder with those great Irish companies like Glanbia, CRH and others. So with that, I would love to ask for your help to spread the word. We're looking to meet with businesses at all sizes, even if we can help them understand what they can do to streamline their communications, Blueface being the right solution or not. Owners, entrepreneurs, IT directors, all the way up to CIOs of large enterprises. Our software and solution is very scalable. And value-added reseller is obviously a very important channel for us to manage here. And then we have telecom carriers who actually carry our software and brand it as their own, which has been our main route to market to the US thus far. So not many people know us, but we are in the background of a lot of the software that you were using from some of the bigger players. And then we're always looking at M&A. If there's an interesting company that works in an adjacent space, we're looking at strategic alternatives to grow, or a company that may have a channel to the customer that we're looking to reach. So with that, I thank you so much for your time. Any questions, please contact Terence and I will be here afterwards. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Amy. So our next company, I have to be very careful how I phrase this one. But if people go to the gym in New York, they know how difficult it can be to find a gym and to try and select one that's best for your needs. So with that, Patrick and Taylor are going to explain how they address that problem. Thank you.
Good evening. This is Taylor. Taylor is head of new business development for Zyama and was the first employee in the company. Our founder and CEO, unfortunately, is in Dublin tonight, so he can't be with us. His name is Paul O'Reilly Highland, and he came up with the concept for Ziamo on the basis that he was trying to do a triathlon here in New York, and he couldn't find a swimming pool to be able to satisfy his needs. Because looking for a gym with a suitable facility on Google was almost impossible. And then paying for the pass and getting there and having someone sell to him. So he set up a company, and then Taylor came on board in January.
The end of last year.
End of last year.
Yep.
And since then you have, tell you what.
Yeah, so like Patrick said, Paul founded the company because finding a gym is not convenient today. And when you go in there, it's like signing away, your life. You're signing a mortgage. You're pressed by a salesperson. Sean, who's in the front row, our sales guy, was a salesperson at the gym. He knows what it's like. You're just hard selling, trying to get people to sign up. Our goal is to help people not have to deal with that. It's like no one wants to call a restaurant and order food takeout now. They just go on Seamless. Same thing with the gym. No one wants to go in there and be pestered. They just want the convenience of purchasing a day pass and going in and using the gym. And that's resonated with me, coming from the industry. And when I met Paul, I said, if we're going to do something like this, you need to work with the industry. So I think what you'll find about Ziamo is we have made a great effort to work hand in hand with the industry. If you actually want to, So our goal really is to work hand in hand with the industry. We are not a discount site. My background is I came from ClassPass, which I know I talked to a few people here. They're familiar with ClassPass. They are kind of viewed as the Groupon of the fitness industry. Our goal is to not be a Groupon or a Priceline. It's more the Expedia of fitness. So really, building a team that's from the industry and working hand in hand is our goal. So this is a little bit of a screenshot of the platform. We are both web and mobile, iOS and Android, and it's enhancing, digitizing the current platform that exists. Currently, you'll see more and more gyms actually selling their membership online, but it's very minimal. About 20% of gyms are actually selling their membership online. It's a very paper-based system. So Ziamo is this first effort on a global scale to digitize the fitness membership industry, and that's through day passes today, eventually week, month, and more.
So just to interrupt there for a second. First of all, just one thing. We pronounce it Ziamo. We don't care how you pronounce it. We just want you to use it. So please download it and keep it going. We are here because, despite my accent, many of you don't know, but everybody from Tullamore speaks like this. I'm actually Irish as well, and so is Paul. But the company is headquartered here in New York, but we have just set up a Dublin office, and our first employee, Shani, started there about a month or two ago. So we are in Dublin. We have a bunch of gyms across Europe. We have investors from Germany, the UK, Ireland, US, and Australia. So the idea is that we are a very, very global platform, so that wherever you go, in whatever country you visit, you will be able to use Ziamo. And we qualify you, we ask you to fill out a form when you first visit the site, which details what kind of gym experience you're looking for. And then when you arrive in that city, you click on the gym, and up comes our partner gyms who you have preordained that you want to be able to use. And then you can just click again and you bought that day pass for that site, so you go into the gym. So it's a very ease of access system. The idea is to be easy for everyone to use. So there's no commitment, no hassle, easy to go there, easy to do it. If we don't have a partner gym in that city that's a requirement, we already have over 25,000 gyms listed on a directory on the site, so we will recommend people who are not partners of ours.
Yeah, so as Patrick just mentioned, we have this large directory. We're partnering with more and more gyms every day around the world globally. So you can just search for partner gyms as well as the directory. You can search by location, activities, amenities. You can quickly compare those options, choose a pass, and and activate it and work out. So it's really as simple as purchasing the pass, activating it on your phone, showing the front desk, and you're in. You're not forced by the salespeople into purchasing more than just the day pass. So really the user benefits are convenience, being able to work out when you want, not having to sign on for an annual commitment. There's no month over month over month. Digital, as I mentioned, this is a paper-based industry. We're taking memberships across the globe online, and it's global. In terms of other companies doing this type of process, we see it city by city. No one's going and hitting around the world. One of our core demographics we're going after would be the business traveler, and it's not very useful if you have a service in your city, but then when you go travel either across the country or even to another country, you can't go to the gym with your current gym membership. So being global is very important.
So in terms of an ask for this audience, we would love you to do 3 or 4 things for us. One is we would love you to download the app and start to use it and give us feedback on how it's going. We are doing a sort of test market launch in Boston over the next month or two because we have just under 60 gyms in the Boston area, very suitable for an Irish audience to be listening to this. And then we would also ask you if you know anyone who works for the gym chains and thinks that they could benefit from having this extra income coming in from Ziamo. We would love an introduction to them. We also feel that obviously getting users is a huge part of our business model. So we are partnering with people who are in the shared economy space as far as kind of accommodation is concerned. We already have a couple of partnerships signed up. A company called One Fine Stay, who's expanding from 5 cities to 50 cities in America over the next year, has committed to partner with us. So when you go and stay in one of their apartments, they give you a cell phone, a local cell phone, and we will be the app on that cell phone where you can just click on us and use the gyms there. Obviously, they don't, no one has a gym in their apartment, or not very many people. So therefore, we're a perfect partner for them. So if you know anyone in that industry who you think will be able to benefit from this being an added service, we'd love you to introduce us to them as well. Anything else?
So you can download on App Store or Google Play, or check us out on Ziamo.com.
Thank you.
Okay, so last but not least, the next company is Opening.io, and this company matches candidates to potential job positions using artificial intelligence. So with that, oh yeah, sorry, Andrea's going to speak. Here's the ticker for you now.
I'm going to be weird and use this if it would work. Can you hear me better? Yeah, cool. Okay, yeah. Okay, let's do this. So Andrea Wade, co-founder and CEO of Opening.io. We're based in Dublin, and my accent is a little bit weird because I'm not from there, but I have been living there for 15 years. So hopefully the microphone will help you understand me better as well. So we spent the last 3 years doing heavy R&D within the AI space, recruitment AI space. And never read a bad resume again might sound like a tall order, but this is the result that our algorithms give you. Our thesis is simple, and it's commercially anchored in figures like this. About 243 million will be wasted within the next 24 hours globally by companies simply sifting through CVs. If I were in Ireland, and I'm not, and I didn't do my homework for the States, but I would tell you that $1 grand a minute is wasted in Ireland on looking at CVs. So problem, trying to make it simple. Here, problem and solution. Problem, I need to go through hundreds of resumes with no indication on who to talk to first, or we have thousands of candidates in jobs and no way of automatically and meaningfully matching them. This problem is shared by various entities within the talent space. These could be job boards, job platforms, ATSs, applicant tracking systems, recruitment CRMs, or large resume databases within companies or staffing agencies. Solution is a technology that can move through millions of data points, within seconds, assessing, categorizing, and recommending the most suitable fit. This is what Opening.io does. We have 3 products, and we have a couple of dozen of neural networks that do various things. So we can match people to jobs, we can match people to people, we can rank candidates, we do salary predictions, we can look at just by looking at a CV, we can tell you how much that person or that CV is worth in I have to be careful how I phrase that, in a particular market, or just by looking at a job description with no salary attached to it, we can tell you in a specific market, this is kind of what the average market salary would be. Skill extractions, skill recommendations, we're pretty bad at writing job descriptions, so you might have written 10 pages of a job description, put it through our technology, and we tell you, you know what, you only have 3 skills there. Why don't you also put in these 7 skills? Because we mine millions of jobs, and we know that other similar job descriptions included this data as well. We do very many other things, but really we have the 3 products, Recruit, Match, and Fuse. Recruit is a SaaS product, and I'll show you a few screenshots about them, and Match and Fuse are APIs. And we plug these into large existing databases. We are supported by NVIDIA. NVIDIA have a sort of an accelerator. It's not a typical startup accelerator. They say that they support exceptional AI companies globally with various things, and they have this program called Inception that we're part of. And then Microsoft is a partner. By the end of the year, you will find Opening on Microsoft's marketplace. It's called AppSource, and they are going to be pushing us globally with their own Salesforce. So I wanted to share a video, but it was 2.5 minutes long. I'm not a very patient person, so I thought that I cannot do that to you. And then I wanted to share only 55 seconds, and it was a little bit difficult to do through here, so we ended up with some crappy screenshots, but they will do. So this is the SaaS product, and this is kind of what it looks like. We have a math score. We map your skills against the job. Let it go twice. We have salary estimations, as I said, and we get insights. So we tried, when we started building this, we kind of went, how can we, what can we look at in a CV and really build a meaningful profile out of the data that you have, but even more so, how can we go outside of your CV and find more information about you? So if you're a techie and you have a GitHub link, we automatically visit GitHub, we take samples of your code, we bring them back into a dashboard, and we take that into account when we match you to a specific job. eShop World is eShop World is Ireland's fastest growing tech company. There are about 250 people, hiring another 200 people in the next 2 years. They're using Opening to grow, and this is a favorite test that companies are doing when they are looking at our technology. They're taking jobs, real jobs that they have had, inputting CVs of real people that have applied for those jobs, and seeing who do our algorithms pick. So in this particular code, we're saying, I've been uploading CVs from roles we filled and hired and feeding them into the system to see if it's feeding us back the same result, which it has. The ask, I meant to be very quick so we can end tonight. Staffing firms, job platforms, large employers, talent networks, and events. We're expanding into the US early next year, and any entities that you know that have large amounts of people in a database or a lot of opportunities, please think of us and introduce us. We are building something really cool. There's years of R&D and a lot of sweat and love that went into this. So think of Opening. This is us, and thanks for listening.
so something very interesting there. AI is a big thing these days. So just to finish up, some final points. So we're looking to reach out to Irish companies who are looking to expand in the US. We're asking them to reach out to us, before they come to New York, and then we can try and help them and introduce them to the community before they come over. We're also looking to profile them so that we can promote them within the community. And then we're also looking to map all the Irish companies who are here in the US, the Irish tech scene. So if you are an Irish technology company, or if you know people who work in an Irish technology company, get them to reach out to Gavin, and we're going to plot them all in a directory and a map to try and boost their profile. And then finally, we try to support J1 graduates as well. So if they're looking for, if you have positions that are available, reach out to us and we can promote it on our social media, because it's always good to try and help J1 graduates with relevant positions when they're over here. So with that, I'd like to thank Bank of Ireland for hosting the event. There'll be food and drink after. Bank of Ireland also asked me to mention that they're looking to support other Irish technology companies coming over here. So if you are looking for a space, reach out to them. And they've been great hosts tonight. So we'll have food and drinks here for a while, and then we'll go down to the wheel capper after. Not today. Thanks.